mean, I really think the reason the United States has a bad reputation in the Arab world is that we have been on the side of dictatorships. We've been on the side of very corrupt, very backward governments in places
Peter
like Saudi
Beinart
Arabia.
became editor of the New Republic at age 28. During the run-up to the invasion, he was one of the hottest young pundits in town, a liberal hawk, accusing opponents of the war of being intellectually incoherent and echoing the official line that Hussein would soon possess a nuclear weapon.
We need a little bit of logistical support, but we don't need the moral support of anyone because we're on the side of the angels in this.
Had you been to Iraq?
No.
So what made you present yourself, if you did, as a Middle East expert?
I don't think that I presented myself as a Middle East expert per se. I was a political journalist. I was a columnist writing about all kinds of things. Someone in my position is not a Middle East expert in the way that somebody who studies this at a university is, or even at a think tank, but I consume that stuff. I was relying on people who did that kind of reporting and people who had been in the government, who had access to classified material for their assessment.
And you would talk to them, and they would, in effect, brief you, background on what they knew?
Sometimes.
I'm trying to help the audience understand. How does you describe yourself as a reporter of political opinion, or a journalist of political opinion? How do you get the information that enables you to reach the conclusion that you draw as a political journalist?
Well, it was mostly, large part, it was reading. It was reading the statements and the things that people said. I was not a beat reporter. I was editing a magazine and writing a column. So I was not doing a lot of primary reporting, but what I was doing was a lot of reading of other people's reporting and reading of what officials were saying.
If we journalists get it wrong on the facts, what is there to be right about?
Well, I think that's a good point. But the argument in the fall of 2002 was not mostly about the facts. It was about a whole series of ideas about what would happen if we invaded.
What I'm trying to get at is how does the public sort all this out from out there beyond the Beltway? Far more people see Bill Kristol on television than will ever read the Associated Press reports or the Knight Ridder reporters. Isn't there an imbalance then in what the public is going to perceive about a critical issue of life and death, like war?
I think it's important for people. Look, would it be better if television were not the primary medium through which people got their news? Yes, that's why I do television, but I'm primarily in the business of writing and editing because I believe ultimately that words can convey more richer information than television. Would we be a better society if people got most of their news from print rather than television? Yes, I think we would.